Rookie minicamp is this weekend. It's our first chance to see the new look Saints, to see the rookies, of course, come in, but also to see Kellen Moore and his staff. So let's go with the new quarterback, the hot ticket in town, Tyler Shough, someone who, as you and Mike discussed on Monday, is someone doing pretty much everything right so far. What do you expect to see from him in that short window of time to just get a taste of what he can do, and kind of what are the expectations?
I don't think we'll see like a lot, as far as is making a judgment or a proclamation or anything like that. Rookie camp's supposed to be messy anyhow, like it's their very first time being in the system, speaking the language and all that stuff. But really, I just want to see how him in particular. I want to see how he carries himself. I want to
Yeah.
see what he looks like on the field, how he communicates. Are we hearing him? Does he seem confident at the line of scrimmage? Any of that stuff that we're able to see. I want to see the arm in person. I want to see how he moves in person. I want to see how he carries his pads in person. Just all that stuff. And obviously, when you're talking about the quarterback, I think the value of that stuff and the attention paid to it is significantly heightened. And I just want to see that first impression. I want to look at someone and feel like he can be somebody that can lead a team. And I imagine he will be. I expect him to feel like a very mature and polished player. I mean, he's 25 years old. He's not 21. I mean, he's been around a lot of
Yeah.
football, and I think that's probably one of the things that's going to stand out about him is just kind of how he conducts himself. And I think we've seen that with how he's brought himself into this city. I think there's a maturity to how he's arrived here. I think there's maturity in his thought process. I think there's maturity in how he's decided to interact with the community and all that stuff. And I think that that's smart. And within that maturity, I see some leadership qualities. But we've never seen him. We've never laid eyes
Yeah.
on him in person. So there's a lot of stuff that we need to see. But like we said on the last one, the way he's come in here, I mean, I think it's been very smart. I think it's very calculated, and those are two words you want associated with your quarterback.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm going to echo some of those same sentiments in terms of I want to see the eye test. I want to see just how he looks in the cherry red jersey. See how kind of he conducts himself and carries himself on the field. I want to see how he calls a huddle, even though they probably won't do all of that in front of us. I want to see just when they're going to QB drills, just how he walks over there. What's the confidence level and everything like that. And just like last year with Rattler, something new and seeing a new quarterback in the system just showcase their talents. That's really what I'm looking to see too. Kind of what kind of early rapport can he get with some of the receivers? What kind of early rapport can he get with some of the running backs and players like that? I remember last year, that Dallin Holker and Spencer Rattler connection was something that stood out kind of early. It didn't materialize in anything during the season, but it's just that was a first chance to see how quickly people can connect together. So I'm very excited to see that.
Yeah. As far as some of the other guys, it's just it's all the same thing pretty much. It's just getting to know them, getting to talk to them,
Yeah.
see what they're like is people who feels like they're kind of up to speed early. None of it ultimately ends up meaning anything in the long run. But yeah, a good start I think means a lot, especially when it comes to the quarterback. And if it just looks organized, I mean, I think that's a huge piece of the puzzle. I don't know how much of the practice we'll actually be able to watch. It's a new staff, it's a new process. There were some
Yeah.
years with Sean Payton where it was open, some years it wasn't, some years with DA. Like it changes from staff to staff and all that. So I don't know if we'll see a whole entire practice or not. I have no idea what to expect out here. Even from that, it will be the first look at the Kellen Moore coaching
Mhm.
staff and all that stuff. Again, I don't know what we're gonna get out of it, but it is a first look, and you do want to see how it's organized and how they're kind of putting things together and what a practice looks like and what the pace is and all that stuff. We'll get a better look at that, I think, in OTAs and
Yeah.
mini camp when we're out there for definitely a whole practice and whole teams out there. But that's going to be weird too. Last year, like Kubiak coming in, this changeover in practice was like a jarring shift from kind of what we were used to seeing
Facts.
over and over and over for the better part of 20 years with Sean and Carmichael and similar defenses and all that. This is going to be all different. I mean, you get the Staley defense doing its own thing. You get the Kellen Moore offense doing a new thing. The pace of practice, all of it.
Yeah.
All of it's going to be brand new. That's going to be very, very different.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, look, you kind of hinted at it just looking at all the other players out there. These are people that we've watched on tape. Some of them over the last 2 weeks after the draft. Some of them like Shough and others over the last 3 months. So just to be able to see them in person and to be able to see kind of how they conduct themselves and carry themselves is going to be important. But just if you had to pinpoint one other player that you want to just put your eyes on, I mean, for me, it's going to be Devin Neal. Who is it for you?
Yeah, the UCLA tight end is someone that I kind of want to get a look at just because it could be important, and there's a lack of uh, depth there at
Yeah,
that position. I think I seen that he was like the number 2 tight end in that class coming in, and again that means nothing once you're actually out there. But he was number 2 in that class behind Bowers, I think, coming in. So he was highly regarded at one point. Talking about a late round pick though, so I'm not expecting a ton from him. But he's somebody I want to get a look at. The Delaware running back is somebody that I think kind of has an interesting pedigree. He's someone I want to get a look at.
yeah,
The UDFA guy. There's a handful of them. I want to see them all. I mean, look, we kind of like talk past Banks. I know it's
yeah,
a tackle and
yeah.
it isn't super exciting and everything, but I kind of want to see how he looks, carries himself, all that stuff too. I think he's really important to this team, and we've all kind of looked past him to the quarterback at this point. But yeah, he's somebody I definitely want to get a look at too.
I think even keying in on Banks, it's going to get really exciting come OTAs once you start seeing the configuration of the line with the other veterans on the field in practice. I think that that's going to be just the most exciting thing because it seems, it kind of seems like we're undercutting it right now and, just mainly talking about the quarterback. But with him in there, with the other starters, just seeing if he's at guard, if he's at tackle, which side is he on, all of that, that's going to ramp it up. But also, Vernon Broughton, just to see what
Yeah.
just to see how he looks in person. We saw the film. If you were in there on the stream, that's exclusive to members only. So make sure you use code NOF for 20% off your first purchase, your first payment. Just to see that in real life, see what that looks like against a scout team or a pad, just to see what that looks like in real life, that get off, and also to see the other coaches, see if it's going to be like they were in college or have they transitioned into another way of teaching now that they're in the NFL. Just it's a lot of exciting stuff going around.